What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the Media Goose channel. It is I, the Media Goose, your friend Ryan, and the goose is loose, baby. Ha! I am here today to talk about Monday Night Raw. Last night was AJ Styles Appreciation Night, and they kept the night pretty loose and breezy. They moved through the night quickly, it felt like. Wasn't the best episode of Raw, but it also didn't drag, really. Um, some pretty terrible news right off the rip. Bronson Reed is now injured. I think the Vision's cursed. Seth got hurt, Bronson got hurt, Braun got hurt. The amount of times this story has had to be changed because of injuries now, it's ridiculous. I think we're getting to the point where you might just want to disband. I'm not an advocate for just ending stories. Like, you should pay things off, but when it started with Seth, you had to adjust a lot. And at that point, I think the plan was Seth and Punk. And Seth would have still been champion, and Punk would have probably won the Royal Rumble instead of Roman. And then Seth got hurt, and I think they were planning on doing Punk and Breaker at at Mania, and I think they were gonna have Punk win the title and then have Breaker win the Rumble here. He got hurt, and it sucks to see. Like, if you removed all of the injuries, the Vision still kind of sucked, in my opinion. I feel like from when the first night after Mania, when the Vision formed, you could tell they never really had a plan. They were just spinning wheels. They were cutting the same promos every week. I feel like since Triple H has taken over, specifically in the last few years, opening Raw is almost like an obligation. Like, Raws don't start hot and fun anymore. They start with boring promo segments, and that was the case tonight. Cole and Graves start in the ring to honor AJ, but Gunther interrupts. I don't like what they're doing with Gunther. It feels like he has nothing to do. Like, it's funny the way that awful Brock Lesnar segment happens later, and they started talking about how Brock is like the Streak. Facing Gunther at this year's Mania kind of feels like facing Undertaker for the Streak. But what are you going to do with Gunther at Mania? It's not Brock, because I don't think you're retiring Brock unless Gunther is going to have to put over Brock, which I don't think you should do. I don't even know what Gunther is going to do at Mania at this point. I've seen people speculate he should retire Rey Mysterio. If anybody besides Dominic Mysterio retires Rey, fuck that. Yeah, but Gunther, I don't know what he's going to do. I don't know what his future is. Then Pierce cut off Gunther, but Gunther, I don't know if Gunther just couldn't hear him or if he was no-selling it, but then Cody comes out, Cody on Raw to honor AJ, but he's quickly interrupted by the Vision. And then we get into the Bronson Reed versus Jay versus Gable match, a match which Bronson Reed was apparently going to win, and he tore his bicep. Bronson is my favorite member of the Vision. He was at the beginning. He still was. I love Bronson Reed. I really do. I love watching him in ring. If you've watched the Raw reviews, you know I've talked about really enjoying his work. So this just sucks. This is really shitty. At this point, I don't know what you do. Do you sideline the Vision until everybody's healthy and try to bring them all back together? I don't know. I got nothing. But Jey Uso, he won. He went over. That was Bronson. Bronson was supposed to win, apparently. And you could tell. I think this messed up the rest of the night because they had to trim time off. And now, I was such a proponent of Maxine and Natalya, and they have completely ruined it. They built Maxine up, and in just as much time as it took to build her up, they ripped her apart and made her, like, useless again. She looks like a fool. They keep doing this to her. This was really bad, and it had no heat again. Triple H is embarrassing himself as a booker at this point, because I don't think I can point to one story on the roster that's going well. So that match sucked. Trick Williams does a commercial promo, and it was great. He was like, I'm here for the lemon pepper chicken wings, baby, with the lemon pepper steppers. Trick is the man. Trick might be the next John Cena, y'all. He's the top guy. He's the next guy that's going to be on the news, doing the media circuits. Trick's the man. Then we got Oba video package, him and Rusev. That's going to be a great match whenever it happens. Fuck Brock Lesnar. Let me say that again for the people in the back. Fuck Brock Lesnar. Fuck Triple H for booking Brock Lesnar. He has been completely useless since they had him return. There is nothing this man provides for the company. And they put him out there with Paul Heyman like it's fucking 2012. Fuck Paul Heyman, too. I'm sorry. I watched a video recently about how he screwed Tommy Dreamer when Tommy Dreamer kept getting offered WCW money and real money when Paul Heyman owed him everything. Paul Heyman's a bad guy. I've been compared to Paul Heyman as a manager. I haven't done any manager work in a while. Hit me up. He's a terrible person. And I think the more stories you hear about Paul Heyman, you hear that. And I think the wrestling business is a business where people are too willing to let awful deeds go if somebody's good at their job. But fuck Paul Heyman, and especially fuck Brock Lesnar, and fuck Triple H for booking this crap in 2026. And it was an awful promo, by the way. It was a really bad promo. Paul Heyman was talking out of his ass, just filling time. And then we get a good promo by a good professional wrestler, Becky fucking Lynch. Becky cuts a backstage promo and she's locked in, and it's excellent. Becky Lynch is one of the best in the business, and if you don't like Becky Lynch, go argue with the wall, because you're an idiot. Then we've got what should be a dream match, Kofi Kingston versus Javon Evans, but because WWE puts the training wheels on like 90% of their in-ring matches on weekly television, this was boring as shit. Offset was out there with Javon. This was set up in a backstage segment. All of those parts were fine. Like, a lot of this was fine. But when I think Kofi and Javon, I was hoping they were going to get to have some fun, and they didn't. Kofi worked a Triple H style and, like, worked a limb. And I don't know. Don't tease us and then give us crap. Run this back when Javon wins a world title in the next couple of years. Make Kofi his first challenger and let them go work a match that we all know they can work. Go work the match they would work if they were on AEW and not wrestling with training wheels. Then we've got a Finn Balor video package. I love Finn. It was good. They're doing a good job with the Finn Punk story. I can't lie. It's probably the best thing they're doing on Raw right now. JD apologizes to Finn. Finn says they're brothers. They hug it out. And then Dom comes up, and Dom is acting like a bitch. Dom is like, y'all were gone. Like, why did you leave me hanging last week? Finn says, when y'all were gone, I didn't blame you. I manned up, and I hung by myself, and you got to do the same damn thing. I think Dom might lose the IC title to Penta next week, and I wouldn't be shocked if Finn has something to do with it, and then Dom ends up returning the favor at Elimination Chamber, screwing Finn. Then we get a CM Punk promo. It's good stuff. I think he probably had to fill time based on the Bronson Reed stuff. So if there was a little bit of filler, that was probably why. I thought it was a really good promo, though. Punk is one of the best in the world right now. He might be the best promo in the world. Um, it was excellent. I love Punk. I love CM Punk. He said, I loved it. He was like, you can talk all the what ifs you want. I don't got to talk in what ifs. I'm the world champion. I don't have to talk in what ifs because I'm actually good. It was a really good promo, and I really enjoyed it. Then we had best match of the night, Io, Kyrie, and Raquel. This was a really fun match. I loved the exchange Io and Kyrie had where they like teamed up on Raquel and then kind of celebrated, like back when they were in Damage Control. I can't wait to see Asuka rip Kyrie apart backstage next week over it. I think that would be a fun story, Io trying to save Kyrie from Asuka. I think you could do something with those three there, and you could maybe even... That would be a fun Io, Kyrie versus Asuka for the IC title. That'd be pretty crazy. But good for Raquel. Raquel's going to the Chamber. I don't think Io needs the Chamber. Rhea's already in there, so the tag team's represented. I thought this was a really fun match, and good for Raquel. I kind of like Raquel to face Jade. If it can't be Bianca, if Bianca's not ready, get a new star up there. So good for Raquel. I like that. And now for the main event, I'm just going to talk about AJ Styles now, y'all. AJ Styles is the man. Throughout the night, we saw a lot of people showing up to celebrate him. Omos was there, former champion with him. We saw Petey Williams. We saw Jeremy Borash, Frankie Kazarian, Abyss on WWE TV. That was really cool. AJ gives a beautiful promo. I texted my friends beforehand. I think this segment ends with a match being set up. And then they played the video package, and then I texted, they used Creed for the video package. It's over. Creed is like, I don't like it, but I'm led to believe the whites, most of the whites do. And yeah, it was a really beautiful segment. AJ got to talk. It's always a little sad when guys talk about their retirement and they talk about all the things they've missed. And that's always hard to hear because you can hear regret. And I'm just so grateful I got to experience AJ Styles for the last 10 years. I didn't watch TNA in its prime. I saw some of his stuff. I'd go out of the way to hear the matches that were like really blowing up, but I didn't watch AJ in his prime. So the fact that I got 10 years of AJ Styles in WWE, I'm incredibly grateful. Thank you, AJ Styles. It was some of the best matches I ever watched in wrestling were AJ Styles. When he first arrived and he had that initial program with Roman for the Universal title, those matches were stellar. AJ gave Roman the best matches of his career to that point. His matches with John Cena, the SummerSlam match where he kicked out of the Super AA off the top rope. I jumped out of my fucking seat when that happened. When everything. I love AJ Styles, man. I'm going to miss him. I think the fact that he's going into the Hall of Fame all but confirms AEW's not happening. At least not for the next year and a half, I would say. I think maybe he could go there to do one match in like 2 years, but once they announced him for the Hall of Fame, to me that ends the AEW talk. At least for right now. I'm assuming this means he's on a Legends deal. He's going into the Hall of Fame. He'll probably do the circuit of the WWE podcasts. Yeah, AJ Styles, one of the greatest of all time. Excuse me, damn. One of my favorite wrestlers of all time. The phenomenal one. And he lived up to that every time he wrestled. Thank you, AJ Styles. Let me know down below what you thought of Raw this week. I thought besides the AJ stuff, it's kind of inconsequential. Sorry, got like burpy in the last minute here. Pretty average to below average Raw. the whole night was about AJ, and I love AJ Styles. So thank you, AJ. Like the video, comment down below. Let me know what you thought of Monday Night Raw. Let me know, what's your favorite AJ Styles match from his 10-year run? He had some iconic ones. Thank you, guys. I hope you have a great rest of the day. The Goose is out.